Hello and welcome back to another fall lawn care video. So let's give you a quick little update of what we've done here so far. So again, the stump here went and filled in that little ridge there, divot, impression, there we go. And then there was another one there, you see that one's filled in a lot more, and then I filled in that area over here. And a little bit over here, we still hold quite a bit of water in there, but this is significantly lower than it was. So today is Sunday. They will aerate tomorrow. It's really important. This next step to me is really important. And if you don't do this, it will affect how deep those roots go and how well the fertilizer and water and everything else penetrates into the ground. You have to water this. Now, we just got a huge rain last night, so we're probably okay, but there's like this very fine line of too much water and not enough. If it's not enough, the tines will not go down deep enough, maybe a ½ inch, an inch, or an inch and a half. You want 2, 3, 4 inches. Those tines are like 6 inches long, and where the top opens up is like 3 inches from the bottom to that opening. And so 3.5 inches is really ideal, because that's whatever you see on top here, 3.5, 4 inches, it's also going down that same. So you have 6 inches total, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? But too much water and you'll just create a muddy mess back here. So yes, it will go down, but then what happens is you're pulling mud up instead of a solid plug, right? So you want enough water to get deep, but not too much that when that plug comes out, it just falls apart and it's muddy, because it will not only create an amazing disaster back here, but it will also actually counterproductively create almost like a water slick on top of the soil here, or on top of the grass, which you do not want. So step 1, cut low. Step 2, remove all the debris and junk, whatever is currently sitting on the turf. And then step 4 is to build up your watering until the day before. I won't be watering this today, Sunday, because they're coming tomorrow. So normally, someone hits it with a sprinkler on Monday morning, it's going to be super muddy, because it won't have time to dry out, even if you get a super sunny day. So after they aerate, we will fertilize, we will throw some grass seed, we will throw some water on it like crazy for about 14 or 15 days. A lot of it really just depends on your conditions, how much rain you're going to have, how much sun you're going to have, because if it's super overcast, obviously not super ideal for what you're doing here. So that's the breakdown of steps. Next is aeration, fertilization, seed, and then watering, and then it's pretty much done. You will probably end up cutting this around that 14 or 15 day mark. A lot of it just depends on how fast it's growing. Once you get to 3 inches, it's safe. I like to push it a little bit more, because the more growth you see on top, that also means the more growth that is happening below. Also, there's a sprinkler head somewhere over here that was basically just drawing a line here and going that way. We moved it so that it's coming down this way, because this was all, gosh, if we go way back to like the backyard renovation video, I think you see how all of this is like soil, rock, some dirt, but pretty minimal. So I'm trying to extend the grass a little bit down this way, and then eventually in here, but I got to get some more soil in here, so that won't actually be happening this year. And I do need to get a little more of a slope away from the house, because the heavier the rain, the more it starts to tilt over. You can't really see it from this angle, but there's like a little swale in here, so most of the water stays on this side of it. But you can see there's a big difference starting about right here and right here, where the sprinkler is now hitting. All of this used to just be bare dirt, rock, and junk like this, and went through, pulled out all the rocks and junk, and turned the sprinkler head, put some seed down, and we're already getting some nice growth in there. So, but when those guys come to aerate, we will seed all of this, and then, like I said, I'll get some more dirt and topsoil in here and ensure that our swale is maintained to keep the water away from the house. You can kind of see the natural line here of what's happening about here. Yeah, the edge of the gutter. So keep the water away from the house at all costs.
Wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch, and my business is humongous. You would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that. Yeah, I'm all that. Working for that whip. Yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like man. Facts, bro. Facts, lot of haters. Tell me where they at, though. I'm the new pop, all I do.
All right, so they just came and aerated. You can see some of the lines in there, but really we got to get down to the kind of granular level here and show you. Trying to find a good plug. This one's pretty decent. So you can see the thatch material junk on top. Whenever that breaks away, you start to see some roots. Let's see if we can find one that's a little bit better. Okay, this is a good example. So you see the grass on top, you see this nice dark soil on top, and then it kind of gets into like this sandy clay, breaks away pretty easily, but you can see here, it's the bottom of the root there. And so this is like perfect, ideal. Now you'd like to see a little bit deeper, maybe something a little bit more like this, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, where you're pulling a lot deeper, because again, you're gonna want to get this seed, which you can see here. This is all fescue seed. I really should have probably cleaned up some more of these leaves and stuff, because a lot of this won't get down to that root level, but we are going to go ahead and water it in. And so again, you're forcing, and you can see it. Here's a really good example. Down in there, you got grass seed. This is a hole, right, from where the aerator just ran over. I just covered up the seed in there, but this is what you really want to see. Obviously, once the water comes in here, that'll force more of the seed down into these holes, but this Georgia clay is really, really hard, and you can see how easily the top breaks away. But this is super compact, and this is what we're breaking up, or trying to break up, so that we get less compaction back here. Obviously, with kids and power wheels and soccer games and whatever else we do back here, you're relieving that compaction, and you're relieving this pressure that's built up in the soil, allowing water, the seed, the fertilizer, all that stuff to get down in there. When you get areas like this where there's just too much traffic, it kills out the grass, and so your whole yard could look like that if you have concentrated traffic. So under swings, you know, anywhere there's constant traffic, you're going to see that. But anyway, so they are done with, this is a good one here. It shows off a lot of that clay in here, and you know, the only thing you can really do here to improve this is adding, you know, some different vitamins and minerals basically down into the soil here. But also you can add topsoil, as we did over there, to try to add a new layer here of this kind of darker organic material. That's really what you want to see, you know, for that first inch or two. This stuff just really breaks down like this, has that nice dark rich color to it, as opposed to this reddish clayish color, because this stuff is really, really hard, and it breaks away pretty easily. But you know, imagine a whole layer of that. So grass is not going to grow in the middle of that, and that's why we do this. So now we'll water it in.
Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
So these sprinklers back here are set to 15 minutes per zone. There's one zone on this half of the yard, kind of where that middle one is, and then that zone over there is its own zone, which will water the other half. So 15 minutes basically for like the next 2 weeks, and I'll show you guys some progress. We'll do a couple little updates on this and the bathroom and everything else, but that is the process, and this is what, you know, will basically help your lawn be its best come spring, because these roots have to germinate, have to get going throughout the winter and fall in order to be nice and green. Kind of like what you see here, but just filling in, making it more solid. So anyway, that is the vlog. Thank you so much for coming along. Maybe there was something of value here that you learned. Again, this is only applicable to fescue, rye, all your like winter, fall, cool season grasses. Basically the grasses that stay green year round. The zoysia that we have in the front is still green for at least another month or two. Totally different process. You do this in the spring, you don't seed it, you just fertilize it, water it, and it's a creeping grass, so it kind of grows this way. as opposed to this way and that way. So anyway, but hopefully that was of value somehow, some way. But again, if you have any questions about this stuff, I love this stuff, and this is honestly the kind of like, you know, with my first business, what I did was consult with people on a daily basis about how to make their yard look amazing. And now, of course, I can do that with real estate as well. You know, talking curb appeal, what to do to get ready to sell it, people that are getting ready to sell in the spring. This is what you should be doing right now. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me, please. It would mean a lot, actually. A ton more videos coming up here, 1 video a day for the rest of this year, and then next year we're gonna switch it up a bit. But if you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. And yeah, if there's anything else you want to know about lawns, trees, bushes, grass, turf, all of it, we'll talk about it at Matt_LaMarsh on Instagram. Shoot me a picture, shoot me a DM of your lawn and what it looks like now. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
See what thing that happens in there.